You're listening to Arival Audio recorded live at Arival Orlando 2019 and distributed here by Tourpreneur. Now, travelers may stay in rooms, but a trip that stays within the four walls of a hotel isn't much of a trip at all. In this talk by Susan DeBottis, Vice President of Tours and Activities for Marriott International, we'll hear how the world's biggest hotel chain is approaching the best part of travel.
Hi, everyone. So excited to be here. So I'm Susan DeBottis. I am responsible for leading Marriott's Tours and Activities business. Many of you may not have even realized that we had a Tours and Activities business, but this is actually our third Arival conference. But for those of you that I haven't been able to meet, just a little bit about myself to kick things off. I've been with Marriott now over 7 years. I have a background in hotel distribution. So actually, when I joined the company, I was responsible for account management of some of Marriott's major online travel agency relationships. I also had a chance to work on Marriott's Book Direct strategy and how do we drive more guests to book through our direct channels like Marriott.com and the mobile app. So I know a little bit about some of the challenges that you all may be facing with the evolving distribution landscape in tours and activities. As I mentioned, this is our third Arival conference. I feel really fortunate to have been in the right place at the right time around 2.5 years ago, having an opportunity to lead this new business at Marriott. We have a number of our team members here today. We've really enjoyed getting to meet a lot of you all over the last day and a half, and really looking forward to meeting many more of you over the next couple of days. On a personal note, I love activities. I try to take a vacation at least once a year with my mom. So most of my vacation photos tend to be selfies of me and my mom. There's an example of one here. We did a kayaking tour a couple of years ago in Hawaii. My mom is in the back, working much harder than I am at paddling away as I take our selfie. We also had an opportunity to do a helicopter tour on that same trip. It was absolutely amazing. And I felt like this slide really wouldn't be complete unless I included a photo of a Segway tour. If you haven't done a Segway tour, they're really amazing, even if you look like a huge nerd, which I do, but it was great. So I'm super excited to be here to represent the voice of hotels at a Tours and Activities conference. There's been so much discussion around online distribution, online resellers, and this evolution of new technology that's really enabling the tours and activities industry. And it's amazing for the industry. It's amazing for everyone. It's amazing for hotels, too. And you're finally getting the recognition that you deserve being such a massive part of the travel industry. But when we think about resellers, we really should remember that not all resellers are the same. Hotels are not just any other reseller. Actually, when I was registering for the conference, I was having a really hard time trying to identify what kind of attendee I was. I really only had an option to be called a distributor, and I don't really identify as a Marriott employee of really being a distributor. And why not? Well, we're operators too. We know what it takes to deliver a great in-destination guest experience. We've been there. How challenging it is, the attention to detail, accommodating evolving guest expectations, while just keeping up with the operation that has to run overnight to be ready the next day. We've managed through the complexities of managing online travel reviews, managing distribution. How do you fight against commoditization of your brand through online websites? And again, just trying to keep your ship sailing, or for us, our guest rooms clean, and keeping up with the trends of the next generation. It's super hard. We are not your competitor. We are your partner in destination, and our interests are completely aligned. We are looking to create great experiences for our guests so they come back to our destinations and they tell all of their friends about our hotels, about our destination, about our activities. So truly, we are your partner in destination. And what really sets us apart is that we know the value of human connection and the power of local recommendations. We can sell your activities in a way that you can't get through just operating through a website. This may look familiar to many of you. The point being, we've been your partners for years. Hotels have been recommending things to do for as long as we've had hotels, even before the internet. And you all are still handing out these wonderful brochures, and we're still handing them out on your behalf. Since I started this role, I don't think I've walked by a brochure rack without wanting to take a picture of it. I've just drawn to them. I don't know what it is. So when you think about your distribution strategy and all of these new opportunities, which are so exciting, I just want to say that don't forget about hotels. They can be a really valuable driver of incremental business to you in a different way than other resellers can, and a really important part of your overall distribution strategy. So I'm going to walk through the top 10 tips to keep partnering with hotels. So I know that we've said at this conference already this morning that travelers don't take photos of their hotel rooms. They don't take photos of the seat that they have on an airplane, and maybe that's true. But if you were staying in this room, you'd probably take a photo. I would certainly take a photo. There's this great stat that we love as hoteliers that says that 80% of activities are booked in destination. Guess what? That's where we are. Travelers are waking up in our hotel rooms and deciding what they want to do that day. They want the ultimate flexibility. If the weather is bad, if they're in a bad mood, what do they feel like doing that day? Unless something is going to sell out, why lock myself in? And they're coming to us to guide them. And we want to know from you, in these instances where our consumers are making these last-minute decisions, do you have flexible booking windows? Do you have same-day availability? We want to know so that when guests come to us and look for these recommendations, we can provide insight into those tours that we know that can be booked right then in that next hour or a few hours from them.
Do you like what you hear on this podcast? If so, join us at an upcoming Arival event to hear from the brightest minds in travel, get hands-on learning to help advance your tour, activity, or attraction business, and partake in the best networking ever. Head to arivalevent.com to register and to learn more.
And we're locals, just like you. Travelers come to us as locals looking for local recommendations. And we are so proud to share with them what our communities have to offer. Our associates are passionate about their local community, the local area, and they're super knowledgeable. We've actually created positions designed specifically to be in the know. We have a few examples of this at some of our brands, the W Insiders as an example, or the Renaissance Navigators. Help us be an extension of your brand. Tell us what makes you different, what makes you unique. Help us sell you better. Are there things that our guests need to know before they arrive? What should they wear? Do you offer transportation? Is there food on your tour? Do you have gluten-free options? Tell us all this information to really allow us to sell you in a way that, again, it can't be done through a website. And let us know what's new. We know that things change. If you offer seasonal products, let us know. If you sell out in advance, let us know. We know when travelers are traveling, how long they're staying, and who they are. If they're traveling with multiple people, maybe they're a couple. Are they traveling with a family? Are they traveling with a group? Do you have activities that are designed specifically for families or best suited for couples? Have you ever considered group opportunities? We're in the Gaylord. This happens to be one of Marriott's hotels. Massive group opportunities. We have small and medium-sized group opportunities too. Have you ever considered partnering with a hotel on a group tour? As a major brand with a strong loyalty program, and other hotel companies are in a similar boat, we have a lot of business travelers. Business travelers, they want experiences too, but they may not have a lot of time. Do you have tours that are available, short booking notice? Maybe the duration is only an hour. Can you pick them up at the hotel? Those are the types of opportunities that we want to know about. Consider tailoring an experience specifically for a hotel, for our guests. We've just recently started to partner with our hotels and some of their local recommendations on opportunities to really create unique experiences, catering to the guests that are coming into our hotels. They get a chance to experience the hotel and to experience the destination. But not all hotels are the same. You've got luxury hotels, you've got upscale hotels, you've got premium hotels, you've got select service hotels, you have budget hotels, a full spectrum. At Marriott, we have 30 brands alone. You've got luxury with St. Regis and Ritz-Carlton, you've got premium brands like Sheraton and Westin and Marriott, or select brands like Courtyard and Residence Inn. All of these hotels, they have different staffing models and they have different travelers. So if you have a luxury hotel, you might have a concierge. A concierge can have a conversation at length about the best things to do in an area. If you have a select hotel, they may have more limited staff. They don't have an opportunity to go into the same great detail. So think about how you partner with different hotels. And think about the travelers that may be staying in those hotels. They may have very different interests. A luxury consumer may be interested in something very different than a select consumer staying in a Courtyard or a Residence Inn that tends to cater to families. And we can make a booking. And we do make a booking. We can make a lot of bookings. We do this all the time today. We have many hotels that are happy to book things to do on behalf of guests. They can call you on the phone and they can check if you're available, if they've got a guest coming to them asking for recommendations, looking to book something. But more and more, we're finding success with hotels that are able to purchase digitally. If you're talking to someone and they're asking you about something to do and they're ready to make that purchase, enabling our hotels the ability to look up your real-time rates and inventory throughout your booking system is a great opportunity for us to create a great guest experience where we can book them then and there, and you don't lose out on that conversion. Last but not least, to us, guest experience is number one. We want guests to love their stay with us so that they trust us with their future travel plans. Our goal is to enable brand loyalty, increase repeat business, increase travel into all of our destinations and all of our hotels. If you're providing a great experience from end to end, we will keep recommending you. So think about your customer experience. What is it that you're doing to enable a seamless experience from end to end? Do you have transportation? Have you thought through important safety and security measures? Have you thought about accessibility? What are the things that our guests need to know to set expectations before they're on your trip? Our hotels really like when they can work with partners that when they receive guest feedback and they share it with that operator can reflect differences in their tours if it elevates that experience. What makes your experience memorable? And double down on that. Help us co-create, help us elevate experiences for our guests so that we can partner together and bring more repeat business into our destinations. So, that's all I have. Thanks, everyone. I hope this was useful. I think we have some time for questions. Super happy to be here.
Thank you, Susan. So I do have a couple of questions. So my impression from your talk, you focused quite a bit on kind of the personal touch inside hotels. And so when I think of that, I think of concierges. And I mean, I have a lot of associations with concierge. You know, some are positive, some are not so positive. Help me. So if I'm an operator, help me kind of think through. If I'm approaching a hotel in my market, do I have to kind of chum up with the concierge, and is that the person I have to engage with? Is it the GM? Is it the front desk? If it's a Marriott property, do I have to find somebody on your team? Like, how does that work?
It's a great question. Every hotel is different. We have 7,000 hotels, so they all work a little bit differently. But some suggestions. There's a lot of different ways. The concierge, of course, is a great resource. I mentioned opportunities to partner with us to co-create. Oftentimes, that may be with a director of sales and marketing at a hotel that may be interested in creating a package with you to sell experiences to people even pre-arrival. We have group meeting planners that may be the best touch point. Hotel general managers, particularly in the instance where it may be a select service hotel that doesn't have a concierge but is really interested in offering that as a guest service. So there's really a lot of different options. There's, of course, my team as well, but probably the best bet is really building that local relationship and fostering that relationship with a variety of people in the hotel.
And then, you talked also about brands. And you talked about, you're dealing with 30 brands, right, at Marriott. But can you just kind of walk through like a specific, how should I think about the kind of the mid-market, like the 3-star brand in my market versus the upper upscale brand, the 4-star or even the 5-star? These are different. Is it different products? Is it different price point? And also how am I kind of selling in, to that property? Like what does that look? So I guess that's 2 questions, 2 questions in one.
Yeah, sure. I would say the commonality, regardless of what the hotel type is, so whether you're a luxury hotel or you have more limited services, is that the associates that work in these hotels are in hospitality. They've chosen this field because they want to provide great guest service. So they all want to know what the best things to do are so that they can recommend them to guests. Even if they don't have a ton of bandwidth and they can't really focus on it, they all want to know, what should I be recommending to guests? So just as a base level, just that's a safe bet. I think when it starts to get into types of product offerings, a luxury consumer may be more interested in some exclusive tours, maybe some private tours. They may have a greater price threshold, but again, as shared earlier in the Airbnb presentation, it's really about value. I think that one of the things that has been kind of fun for us as a team is taking a look at the types of things that our guests are booking, and you would assume that maybe a luxury consumer wouldn't be interested in booking a duck tour, but we actually see a ton of duck tours that are booked by luxury consumers, and so you never know. It's really best to have a conversation with the hotel to get an understanding of the types of guests that are coming into the hotel, and then tailor your approach from that end.
Are you interested in being a part of the Arival community of tours, activities, attractions, events, and experiences? Then join us at one of our events in the US, Europe, or Asia Pacific. Head to arivalevent.com to learn more.